Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an author, speaker, and proud father. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot. Don't think like a man. Don't think like a man. Now, in the last thing I talked about was the woman's power, your feminine power, what that does to us, right? And of course, you had that famous comedian, Steve Harvey, who did that book, about thinking like a man and everything, which was the biggest bullshit. Any women who followed it probably got jacked up. You don't want to think like a man. I'm going to tell you what. See, here's the beauty. I'd start in the last podcast, I talked about your femininity. Women who are truly feminine are more instinctual. They ain't in their heads. They ain't going step by step trying to do stuff. They ain't using their logical, rational stuff. Now, I did a video on my men's channel telling men don't look for women to think like men. And of course, ironically, I got pushback, but there's a deeper reason why some men would even want a woman thinking like a man, but it would be insulting to them. And trust me, I get some men pissed if I point it out, right? But I'll just say this: a lot of those men need to really question their own sexuality, right? We don't need y'all to think like a man. See, a man, when a couple comes together, man and woman come together, we have complementary traits. The men are supposed to be the rational, logical ones. We're the ones who's supposed to. Rational and logical means we take emotion out of it. We get shit done. We're pragmatic. We're supposed to be that way. A woman don't have to be that way. Women, y'all more intuitive. You go more in your feelings. That's most important. Because if we get down to it, a couple is supposed to have complementary traits. We don't need both of y'all to think. We don't need it. It shouldn't be a situation where both the man and the woman are both logical. That's going to be trouble, and I feel sorry for any kids they have. A woman's supposed to be intuitive, right? A woman is supposed to go more in her feelings because that helps the baby. That helps a mother bond with her baby. Because if a woman is logical and rational about it, she'll probably have that baby, which some women do, and then let a nanny raise it or something. The baby is just there. And then the child grows up to be jacked up, and then you get a vicious cycle. Say, no, we don't need you to think like a man, and you really shouldn't. Now, this ain't meaning that, you can't get a job or do something in a career or something. It just depends on what you're doing and what it bring out. Is it a type of job that's more intuitive? Or is it a type of job that require that you think like a guy? And I'm just going to be real with you. The jobs that require you to think like a guy can be hurtful to you in many other ways. It can mess with your femininity. All right? Now, this ain't to say you can't. There's still plenty of stuff. If you look at the women who are billionaires, really made money, like an Oprah and stuff, she made her money through more feminine activities. Talking, communication, being maternal, So that's a good thing. But ladies, you don't want to think like a man. You don't want to be a man. Because, see, I'm going to tell you what. If you got that thing where you're being a man mentally and everything, you could get if you want a masculine man, yeah, you can get a buddy. You could get a great buddy. He might even like being around. You be like, yeah, that's my bud. He ain't going to be turned on. His dick ain't going to get hard. He ain't going to want to make you his woman because you like one of the boys. You could be cool. He might even talk to you about some stuff. He's like, but you one of the boys. He ain't going to be turned on. And he's going to treat you that way. All right? You don't want that. If you want to turn that man on, you need to be in your femininity. That means getting out of your head. I'm going to tell you what, getting out of your head is so powerful. It even sexually gives you an orgasm. Because the key to a woman having an orgasm is to be in her body, to be in her feelings. If she's sitting there thinking, okay, if he do this, he do that, you too much in your head. You're not feeling him in your body when he's making love to you, right? You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. I don't care. And if you get a man who tells you to do that, look at that man's side eye and ignore that advice. Because it don't work. Seriously. And look, ladies, I'm just being on a practical level. That's why a lot of women, like you get a lot of women talking about how educated they are and how much money they got and stuff. And, they listing off all their accomplishments. And you know what? Even physically, probably even look decent. Seriously. Look decent. But I'm like, that's not feminine. And it's going to turn us off. Now, like I said in the previous podcast, yeah, you got some men out there who are more yin. You might turn them on, but you ain't going to be turned on by them long term. You might mess with him real quick and he's fun. He letting you control stuff, think for him and everything. And some women will try to make that work. But then when that, what I call a hood man come in there, he just make you feel something. Shoot. At best, what you might get from him is if he uses your body for gratification. When you deal with a real man like that, like a real masculine man, that's the best. Think about what I just said. The best thing that you could get from him if he uses your body for gratification. That whole concept is just jacked up. I'm serious. Let's just think about it. That whole concept, he using it. That's the best you can do. He ain't going to be pressed about you. Because look, ladies, if you want to get a man, you got to be a woman. And you got to think like a woman. That does something. Because I'm going to tell you what, when you in your feminine power, when you actually a woman, that dude you magnetically drawing that man to you. He might even be sure. And like I mentioned in the last one, sometimes you get that guy who might be considered real attractive. He get with that woman who might not seem on his level, plain Jane-ish and, a bunch of things. But she got a real piece. She got a feminine way that she's carrying herself. Right? She got a feminine way. He's drawn to that. And contrary to popular belief, some of the best looking women aren't the most feminine. Contrary to popular belief. Right? A lot of times they got a certain physicality to them, but that energy is great. Now, if you very physically attractive and you feminine, shoot, you got men lined up for you. You got men doing all that stuff. But one of the things is you can't think like a man. In fact, y'all supposed to be intuitive. Y'all supposed to be more instinctual. Y'all supposed to be. Because that's how you connect as a mother. That's how you connect. That's how you connect to the right man. Because, in this culture, we got all this stuff about, women getting the bag and stuff. When you thinking on those levels, like, oh, he got to have a certain amount of money and credit and all of that, that's thinking. But the right man for you, he'll hit you at the heart. But then that's the man, that's going to be the man who's going to work hard anyway. That's the man who's going to lay out a body for you if he has to. That's the man who's going to get out there. He will work 2 and 3 jobs, make sure you're taken care of. All right? And he might not fit what society says, which is very artificial anyway. It's supposed to be the man. And there's some deeper stuff with that. I'm going to one day do a video on my main channel, or maybe on-demand video. Trust me, it will piss some people off, but it's the real thing. A lot of shit is artificial. And see, you don't get caught up into that. Don't think like a man. Go with your vibe. Go with your feelings. Seriously, ain't nothing wrong with that. Because really, if you really tap into it, it'll keep you away from knuckleheads. Because a lot of ways women get dogged is because they thinking about it too much. Seriously. Because that's one thing about the truly feminine woman and her feminine power. One, she draws the right men to her. And two, even if he ain't such a good man to other men, the more powerful she is in her femininity, the more he'll act right. And I've seen that. I've seen men just dog out certain women. A bunch of women they encounter and call them names and everything, but they get around that feminine woman, they chilled out, acting right. That's how powerful it is. But one of the main ways you want to get there, don't approach it like a man. You're not a man. You are not a man. And you're built a certain way for a reason. You built to have multiple children. And that's more of a feminine thing, because if you are all thinking about it and all in thinking like a man, you probably wouldn't want to do that to your body. So it's very important. Don't think like a man. I don't give a shit what any celebrity says or something or somebody trying to help you. You're not a man, you're a woman. And there's a lot of power in there's a lot of beauty in that. All right? Seriously. And the more you into that, the better you have a chance of drawing a real man to you. He'll do all the man stuff. All you have to do is be a woman. Oh, and make him a plate. All right? So anyway, that's all I got for now. Get back with y'all ladies later. Peace and blessings.